Alright, good morning everybody. Welcome back to NeelyFX. My name is Michael Neely, and this is the channel where I talk about foreign exchange trading, trading in general, and making money doing trading. Trading as a profession. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get into the risk disclaimer screen right here. Because I live in the United States, and to my knowledge, this is required by law for me to talk about trading, because if you get into trading, you can look around and say, hey, he told me to do that. No, I did not. Trading is good if you learn what you're doing first, but if you don't know what you're doing, this is what can happen. This channel is for educational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute trading or financial advice. I am a professional trader, not a broker, trading my own capital. I'm also involved in a couple of prop trading challenges, but again, that is not my capital at this point. I do not solicit funds. As a matter of fact, those are demo accounts, by the way. I do not solicit funds, manage client accounts, nor do I hold CFTC or NFA registration, so don't send me any money. Forex trading is highly speculative with a high risk of losing some or all of your investment capital. Only trade with funds you can comfortably afford to lose. Now here's the CFTC risk disclosure. Forex trading carries a high degree of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. The high degree of leverage can work against you as well as for you. Before trading Forex, consider your investment objectives, experience, and risk appetite. You could sustain a loss of some or all of your investment capital. Alrighty, so let's see what's going to happen this next week. First, let's go to the calendar. Right here. Oh, there it is. There I am. How about that? And as you can see, I'm in a day off shirt because today is a day off for me. It's Sunday, and I don't have to go do stuff today outside for money like I normally do. So this is the downside. We don't care what's going on in the news. Yesterday, nothing happened. Oh, FOMC Michelle Bowman, member Michelle Bowman speaks. Oh, well. Didn't hear anybody talking about that. Today in Japan, it's a bank holiday. And here we are on Monday. We've got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Monday, not much of it is really that tantalizing. We have Cleveland. The Cleveland Fed is going to throw its 2 cents in the pot about inflation expectations. 3.9% is what was the previous. Well, I'm going to look at this chart for a minute. So apparently this is a new indicator that we're using. That is the max range. So apparently this is a recent thing that they started coming out with, that just to see if they can jolt the market a little bit more. Way to go, Fed. Let's see what's going to happen on the 12th. Look at this, a whole bunch of stuff. Core CPI comes out on Tuesday. That's exciting. The British pound, we're going to be looking at a little bit more. The Aussie is going to be making its, as they're expecting to cut rates 0.15%. 0.25%, so a quarter of 25 basis points. Okay, so they may do that. That'll be something interesting to keep an eye on. So maybe we'll get an Aussie trade in on Tuesday. It happens at 12:30 a.m. I'm not going to be awake for that. Then back here, and again on Wednesday, we have the unemployment change for the Australian dollar for Australia. Not much going on as far as things that could change the market, except a lot of Fed speak. So Fed talking bobbleheads are going to be talking about a bunch of stuff, especially one that I would particularly disregard is Goolsbee. Goolsbee is an idiot. I don't know how he got to where he is, but we're not going to talk about that. Goolsbee is an idiot. Here we go. He's a professor at University of Chicago, or he used to be. He was also involved in the Biden administration. Pardon me, the Obama administration. And I used to cringe every time I heard him do an interview. He's just the worst. Oh well. Here we go. PPI comes out on is that Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. We've got PPI coming out. That'll be exciting. And here we are. We have on the British side. We have GDP for Great Britain. Henry likes that. Come here, Henry. Say hi to everybody. He's blending into the backdrop because he's blue. Oh, that's working out. You can see his little feet right there, though. Ow. Come on. Oh, he doesn't want to play. So a lot of information on the British side and the Japanese side. We've got Japanese GDP coming out, but it's not really a market mover. Doesn't look like. They're not red. Interesting. Let's see, and then Friday we have. Friday's usually not a trade day. I think I need to probably revisit that and get in and get out by noon instead on Fridays. More like 10 o'clock in the morning. But here we go. Core retail sales on Friday. My favorite, capacity utilization and industrial production. Both flatlined right now, which is kind of weird. Well, not really. Then we have the times of COVID right here. For capacity utilization, it dropped down to below 65%. That's recession territory. And in the past, I would say anything under 80 was recession territory, but it's been under 80 for quite some time now. I think, or is it under 70? Oh, well, it's a long time ago. And industrial production, that's looking pretty flat. I mean, pretty boring. Except the bouncy times of COVID, or what I got to discuss that. See, so what is going on next? So, as we saw throughout my videos this past week, here's the one we missed. This is the Great British Pound versus the yen. We'll pull this down a little bit further, and this is a spectacular move that took place over the week. Thursday, July the 25th. Well, our week would have started here. And we've got these pair of dojis right here indicating a reversal and bouncing off the trend line, and look at it go. That would have been a magnificent weekly win right there. That could have done a lot. Could have done a lot with. However, we missed it, so we're not going to get into FOMO territory. We're going to see what's next. We're not going to look back. We're going to look forward. So we have the monthly trend line right here, and I'm not going to redraw this trend line yet, the 4-hour trend resistance trend line, because we don't have a top yet. We do have a spinning top forming right there, which is another indication of a possible reversal. So we could be looking at coming in maybe with a sell stop loss around here. Might be a good spot. 34. 198.34. I'm going to put a little line in there. Not that far down. And not a trade either. I like right there. Oh, it's not doing anything. How did I do that? Oh. FIBO retracement. So let's see, we've got a FIBO retraced. Still fully retraced, almost 100%. So we're going to get back out of that because I don't want that on the chart. And take it out. Backspace is how you do that. Where is my line indicator? This is it. Trend line, horizontal ray. Forgot how to draw a line in there. Okay, we'll do it. Get that out of there because we don't want that in there. However, this is quite. I may want to put another ray in there, about right here, for another resistance line. Well, not necessarily a resistance line, but a support line, so we can see when that starts faltering. If it goes across sideways, then it's going to not work. But this is the monthly trend line right here. This has been highly respected by the pair right now. So that's what we're going to look at bouncing off of, is probably, if we get it even tighter, 199, do a sell stop, sell limit at this point. So that might be another trade to consider. Other than that, there's not a whole lot going on here as far as this one goes. And I've already, let's go ahead and do what we normally do on Sundays and make sure that our trend lines are still being respected. And I've already looked at this morning because I've been dwelling on this, and which is not something you should do. Oh, I remember what I was going to do. So there it is. Both monthly support lines are being respected. Weekly trend lines, we actually don't have any weekly trend lines because the weekly trend lines are so close to the monthly trend lines, it seems kind of doesn't seem necessary. So we're going to go straight. I mean, we could draw one from here to here, making that a very nice little pivot point right there at 184. I think we're going to see 184 next week. If we see 184 next week, something bad happened. Or something good happened. I don't know. So let's see. We're going to go down to the weekly. I'm going to go down to the daily, see what's going on here. And then we'll get into the other currency pairs. So daily trend lines are also being respected. No need to redraw those. And we come down to the 4 hour, which is the chart where I make all my trading decisions, my final trading decisions. And we are into this area of red right here. And we've got a bearish change of character and no bullish change of character showing up right in here. The trend line is still saying negative. It's a flat line right now. We'll see what happens when the market opens at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock Eastern time, which is, I think, 8 o'clock Tokyo time. I think they're 12 hours out. So after this, let's go down to the Aussie, since I've got some Aussie stuff in the news. First, let's go back out to our monthly trend lines, make sure they're being respected, as Tory Trades would say. No, I do not know her personally, even though she's from Tennessee and so is my family, but nobody cares. Monthly trend lines are being respected. We'll keep going from there. Weekly trend lines, don't need any because monthlies are be just pretty much redrawing monthlies. Daily trend lines. Oh. And Control Z is how you do that on the shortcuts. If you accidentally move a line or something, you can put it back with Control Z. I want to get back out to the weekly again. See how far out this goes. So this could go down as low as 60. It looks like 0.6, since it's 6. That's 500 pip move over the past little while. And the 4 hour resistance trend line has it trending lower. So probably going to see the got to the 4. And the 4 hour resistance trend line has been broken. So we need to change this. Move this one out to about here, and we have a turnaround on that. So we'll see if it's going to respect the 4 hour resistance trend line when the market's open. And that's the 4 hour trend line right there, and it looks like it's just doing dandy. It looks like something's going to happen with the convergence of all these trend lines, so it's got to go somewhere. Which direction, we don't know yet. So however, it would be interesting to watch the Australian economic news this week. See what's going to happen with that. Euro versus the dollar. This has gotten astronomically boring. We got to the monthly. What do we got? And that's, I think, a trend line I drew when I was trying to see if it was going to bounce off of a. Let's see how I drew that horizontal line right there. Okay, that must be how I did it. Okay, we don't need that in there. Okay, great. So I figured out how to do that again. Monthly. I'm going to pull this up here and drop that down. That is close to some sell-off territory up here in the 120s. Probably will not see that on the monthly level. And then, better yet, I am going to give me just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, and here we are again. We're back at the euro versus the dollar, and that's the monthly chart done. It's respecting with the trend lines there, so we just keep on going back out. This is about drawing trend lines, making sure they're accurate, not trying to predict the future, because we don't do that. Daily support trend line's off a little bit, but we're not going to worry about that until we get to the daily one. The weekly, no reason for weeklies. We've got lots of neat stuff going on here. Daily is showing a convergence right around 120. We probably won't see that. It's got to get through 117 first. And it's actually starting to trend down again. Slightly, but choppily, but down. And here we have the daily trend line on the euro. And it looks something like that. That is not being respected any longer, so that is no longer valid. Pull this one out to here. And other than that, our trend lines look good. And then we'll go to the 4-hour trend line. And see what's going on here. So we're getting a little bit, looks like we got a little bit of an upward motion from the super trend indicator. And again, bullish change of character right there. So we could see some more bullish action moving into 117, but we're not going to be going very far after that. 117.84. That would still be a nice little payday, 140 pip payday. We will not bet on that or predict that, because that is really flat right there. That's about as horizontal as they get. So we're not going to talk about that. As far as predicting the quote-unquote future, we already talked about the pound versus the yen. Do the pound versus the dollar now. Now this is again where the action was, and we missed this week. So that's we need to broaden our horizons a little bit and look at other currencies and possibly some commodities, because I just realized we can trade commodities too. So the monthly trend lines look good. Yippers. Monthly trend lines look good on the pound versus the dollar, sterling versus the dollar. Why is it called the sterling? Because the pound used to be based on a pound of sterling silver. Here's your trivia question for today. And again, it looks like more bullish action, potential bullish action right here. 134.45 could go up to 138. That's on the daily. We're not going to worry about that. Let's look at the trend lines. We don't have any. So let's go down to the daily. Look at our daily trend lines, and we have, I like to get as big of a thing as possible. It looks like daily trend lines are being supported, and the monthly trend line, or 4-hour trend lines. And again, same thing. We had the same problem with the other one, with the pound versus the yen, is that we don't have a top here yet. So we can't really move this 4-hour trend line yet. We will as soon as we can, but it does a nice breakout and a nice move right there. It would have come down on top of the trend line again. It really didn't break out again until Wednesday. So from Tuesday, all day Tuesday, and then broke out on Wednesday. That's it's kind of alarming kind of thing. But there again is a 140 pip payday, and that would have also been a very nice payday to get out on Friday. It may still be running. We're not sure what's going on here. It did break the 4-hour support trend line. So I think we need to change this one over to maybe here. Make that one work out a little bit better. And see if it comes down and touches this trend line and takes off again. So that would be something else to consider. Again, what's going to happen? We won't know until the market's open, because we are not here to predict the future. Here to trade what's in front of us. Dollar versus the CAD. The loonie, as it were. Let's go out to the monthly trend line. It looks like that. Looks pretty terrifying, but then we do that, it looks a lot better. Monthly trend lines are being supported. Weekly, we don't have any weekly trend lines on this. We're going to go down to daily. And daily trend lines are being supported. So we'll go down to the 4-hour trend lines. And 4-hour trend lines. Okay, and for support trend line has been totally trashed. Put it right about here, maybe. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. Got a nice touch right there. And again, it's pretty boring. Not a whole lot going on. RSI is right in the middle on the 14 scale. I like to move it to a 13 just because I like Fibonacci numbers. It's just a kind like black cat crossing your path thing to go between 13 periods and 14 periods. But again, don't see a whole lot of what's going on here. That's pretty flat too. I would not trade the UCAD yet because we're not sure what's going to happen. JPY, dollar yen. Do this one, and then we will be wrapping up monthly. Let's put it into a context so we can see what's going on. Monthly support trend lines. That's weird. Did I draw that? I had to have drawn that. This should be down here, like that. That's better. Yeah, it looks better, a lot better. Okay, so the monthly trend lines are looking like that. They're both being supported. We'll go down to the weekly. I don't think we have anything for weekly. No, very rarely do I draw weekly trend lines because they're about the same as the monthly trend lines on almost every chart I'm working with. Daily trend lines right here. Daily trend lines are still being supported and respected, as it were. Respected or violated. Don't violate the trend lines. Okay, and we'll pull this one up here. It's the 4-hour trend line, I think, right here. But it doesn't look right. Something does not look right with this. Okay, that's because this one needs to go up here, and this one, yep, that one needs to go over here. Probably put this one right there. I'll go back here and get this little dot. It's way over here somewhere. I don't know where it is. Where'd it go? That's what it's supposed to look like, something like that. So daily support trend line looks like that. That is some pretty flat trading too. We don't want to get into that. And again, boring trading. RSI is 45. It's nothing to trade there either. It's not right now, but we're not going to make those kind of decisions right now because the markets are closed. So we're going to review our positions on our trading dashboards for both of the challenges I'm in right now. Here's the first one. I'm in theory trading 15 grand, and so far I've made $382, which is not enough to write home about. And as a 3% return does not get us where we need to be. We need a 10% return at a maximum, I think, 5% drawdown. The other trading platform is, I got a 0% return on that. It's $25,000. I made $124. That is not enough to do anything with. And this is the second one I got into. So I'm trading 40,000 and in theory, and not doing too well on that. On my demo account here, we are trading 48,000. That's a $50,000 demo account. And I am down 2 grand on that. So that's also a complete change of strategy because I was not taking the demo account seriously because I didn't see it as real money. And just thought it was just something to play with. And then I got serious about it when it hit about 46,000. So I have made 2,000 back. We need to get that back over into profitability and get it to 55,000. That would make me very happy. And that again is demo money. That is not that's paper money. My live accounts we're not going to talk about because they're not very exciting at all, because they don't have much money in them at all. I'm trying to fix that. Let me see what else. I did take a new course. We'll talk about that later. But at any rate, that's what we've got this week. I've also got some other fun things going on, like the 3 to 7 moving average pair that I'm throwing in here, and we're going to be figuring out what our stop losses are trading the pound versus the yen using ATR, average true range, instead of just a fixed 75 or 85 pip, 75 or 100 pip, because the dragon will chew up 75 pip stop loss very quickly. With that, I'm going to plug in my other machine because it's about to go bye-bye on me, which we don't need to do. There we go. So with that, don't have a whole lot more to talk about today. All of our trend lines have been updated, and we'll see what happens when the market opens at 8 o'clock, or the Tokyo market opens at 8 o'clock. 5 o'clock is where the Forex market's open, but we'll see what happens after that. Oh well, you guys have a great one, and I will talk with you later. Bye.